animation. So the character is animated, it's supposed to pick up the can and let go of it, kind of drop it in a garbage can next to the table or under the table. So let's see if I remember still how to do this. Okay, so we have two things that we're dealing with the existing animation that we want the can to follow or not follow. So, and we also have the positions of the can and the character that Maya need to know where they need to be. So those are two main factors that we need to account for. So, so what I'm looking first is where are the moments when the character or when the can needs to start following the hand. So there's a moment when the fingers wrap around the can. And so from that moment on, I do want the can to follow up to the moment when he kind of gets it to this position and lets go. So here, you let go of the can. Okay, so Maya need to know the position of the can, so we need to key that. Oh, you're asking for a link? Just a second. Let me pull it up.
Снался. Да че се ударите. Глупаче.
This link here that says batch rendering on lynda.com, and okay, and to use this, you need to be logged in to your Full Sail One account. Okay, so keep that in mind. So it will not, you will not be able just to read this and watch this if you're not logged in. So that's one thing. And also, I don't know if you missed this, Allegra, what I mentioned, that there is something that you can check and try doing is, if you go to your grading rubrics that you received with your grade, if you go down, see my cursor? It says 3-point lighting. If you click on it, it will also open a video from the next class that you can try doing. And you get to meet your teacher. So you'll recognize him. Okay, so the render activity is supposed to be a kind of activity on your self-learning activity, on your own, a little extra exploration. And as you can notice, I'm not really an expert on rendering. I could probably figure it out with a little struggle. Okay, so now give try to this video here in a grade, and the let me know if you can still access the other link on FSO. I mean, yeah, YouTube search, there's plenty stuff that you can find on it. Okay, so it's the frame 45 where I want the can to start following. So let's see the steps that we need to take. So we need to key the can. So and we also need to parent the can to the finger. So I'm just trying to remember the order of those two things. Well, let's try keying the position of the can first. So let's select the can. And since it has no selection curves, I'm just going to go and key the translations, rotations. And I guess if I'm going to animate maybe the squashing or stretching of the can, I can include the scale as well. And I'm going to right mouse click and key selected. Okay, so we have at least one position for this can keyed. So let's parent now the can to the finger. And this is what I also cannot remember. What should I select first? The parent or the child? Let's go with the child first. And parent, the finger that holds most of the body of the can and controls it are really the index and the thumb. So I cannot use both. So I'm just going to use the top knuckle, the selection curve from the index finger. So select the, let's try with the can first, then hold on shift and select the knuckle. So now we have hopefully the child and the parent selected. And I need to be in the animation menu set and go to constrain. So under the constraint, I'm looking for parent. And I just want to check something in the settings. I want to make sure that the maintain offset is checked. So this needs to be checked. And I do believe that if you go to edit and reset settings, it should be set properly by default. So I'm going to add a parent constraint. And it did tell me there was an error. So let me check on that. So let's see what happened. Okay, it did not work. Let's try the other way. Let's try the finger first. Okay, so this time it did not complain. Okay, so the problem is that I created a constraint on a wrong frame. So see how the can, it's almost like he's doing magic or puppeteering the can. So I need to undo this. And also let me change something in my settings. All of those extra attributes in here are not necessary. Let me just do that first. Okay, so that should be the renderman, workflow, or user interface. So no attributes in the channel box. So, oh, I need to whisper Maya. That's annoying. Okay, so when you're creating the parent constraint, you need to have the correct relation between your hand and the object. So the good grip. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. So it was the parent first. So knuckle first. So I'm going to find the moment. Okay, so from this moment, I want the can to follow. So this is the correct relation between the finger and the can. So hold on shift. So I have knuckle selected and the can, and go to constraint and parent. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, so now this is correct. So the can is following the finger. Okay, so Maya doesn't know what to do with this other than, yeah, the point of not really necessarily just contact, but a good grip, because the contact doesn't always have to be a good grip on the can. So it is really the position of the hand and the object that you're going to spend most of the time in holding it. Okay, it's the hold that you want to make sure that you have the correct relation there. Okay, so now I did parent the can to the finger, and that all Maya knows. I pretty much told it it can follow the finger. So that's what it is doing right now. So how do I make sure that this does not happen? Okay, so if you select your can only, there should be a blend parent. There you are. So blend parent. Okay, so this attribute was not there before, the blend parent, and it has a value of 1. So this is a keyable attribute. So by keying this on and off, you're telling the can to follow the finger or not. Okay, so if I go there, so now go to frame 1, and then go to blend parent and type in 0, press enter, you see the can went back on the table. So I do need to key this. So I click on blend parent, right mouse click and key selected. So now this can will not be following the hand at all anymore. Okay, so now I need to go back and find the right hold. I'm gonna go with 45. Okay, this is just, he squeezes it a better, and this is gonna be where it starts moving off the table a little bit. Okay, so frame 45. So on frame 45, I want the can to follow. So I select the can, go to the blend parent and type in 1. Press return and key. Selected. Okay, so now, see, can is following from this moment. Okay, so Maya still doesn't know, like if I key it this way, Maya still doesn't know how long the can should stay on a table. So I need to tell it. So I want can to stay on the table all the way just 1 frame before it should start moving with the hand. So I go just frame before, on frame 44, and I will key this
Is that you?
at 0. Let's say 0. It says 0 because it's in stepped. But if I switch to auto tangents, the curves, then I would have a weird result. Let's take a look at. See the can is floating towards the hand because Maya doesn't know how long the can should stay on the table. So that's why I'm gonna go to frame 44, just 1 frame before when it should start following. So up to this moment, it should not follow. So I need to go here, type in 0, return, and key selected. Okay, so now the can will stay in the right place, even in the auto tangents, and then start following. Okay. So now there is a moment when we let go of the can. So I need to figure out, on which hand position that happens. Okay, so it seems that the last frame where the can should follow the hand is frame 79. So I need to keep the can keyed up to that moment. Um, well, once you key the can so it doesn't follow the hand, then you need to animate the can uh, for the dropping part. Yeah, yeah, you can do the same but reverse for dropping the cans, correct. Okay. So you do need to kind of make a good decisions. So I'm gonna tell the can to follow to frame 79. So select the can, and I'm gonna make sure that this is keyed at value of 1. So Maya has no doubt that it should follow all the way to that point. So now what releases the can is the hand opening. It kind of opens and let's go. So between those two keys, the can should not follow anymore. So before you release the can and start keying it and letting it go, there's one important thing that you need to do. You need to key the position of this can. Okay, guys? So this is the translations, rotation, and scales. So because if you don't key this position of the can, it will go back to the first position. Hey, Declan. Okay, so I'm going to select the can and then let's highlight the translations, rotations, and scale and key selected. So this way Maya knows that once the can is not following the hand, it needs to be there. I hope it's logical enough. It's a little bit complicated, but it's not too complicated. Okay, so still. This is not supposed to be happening. Let me check on that. Okay. I guess I need to tell Maya that the first position starts on frame 1, but it needs to hold it to frame 44. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the value from 1, paste it on 44. Okay, that helped. I just got a little brain fart here for a moment. Okay, so Maya needs to know where the can should be when it's not following the hand. Yes, but just the main positions. So they, so basically the moments when you're switching on and off, Maya needs to know where the object is. When the hand lets go, you tell Maya, okay, then that moment the object needs to be in this certain position. Okay. It does. It's just you make one little mistake and everything goes wrong, and then you kind of what happened? Okay, so here I did key the can, and let's make sure. Where is my blend parent is here. Okay, so I'm looking at the keys of the hand. So this is my kind of moment where I let go. So on 79, I still want the can to follow, but on frame 80, I don't want it to follow anymore. So I'm going to click on the can, find my blend parent and type in 0, press enter, and key this. Okay, so now we brought, so you would do the same thing if you were putting the can on some other object, like on another table, or you're giving it to another person. I have also done animation where I have switched the parents from left to the right hand. That's possible to do as well. And you would do the similar approach. You have a parent constraint on both hands and just gonna turn one off while you turn the other one on. Okay, so from this moment on, you would just animate the can falling down. So let's see, it probably needs about 6 to 8 frames to fall down. So translate Y. Oops, not on this key. I'm gonna actually do this a little bit later. So 80 plus 6. Let's make it 86 and see how it feels. Now I will key. Let's see. It's not moving because it's, I guess my preferences are set to auto. So I need to switch this to auto to see it falling. I do want it to rotate a little bit here. It is wobbling a little bit as it's falling down, so I would have to fix that. But you get the point. So it's not about animating the can; it's about making it follow. Okay, so it's a little bit too fast. I guess the can is full. Okay, so I might need to give a little more time for that can to fall down. Okay, guys, so hopefully, some of you will find this useful.